Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to be talking about Overwatch for the first time in quite a while, to be honest. Obviously, if you are new here on this channel, I do talk about Overwatch, but however, I'm pretty sure I did say this, that this will be my final year talk about Overwatch as a whole, as an esports, and then next year I will be mainly focusing on Valorant, so it's going to be a whole name change and stuff, but as of right now for this year, I'll be talking about Overwatch. So, first start off that, these are so we're gonna be talking about the Summer Stage Knockout, which is only for the East. That obviously finished, and here are the participant teams if you're wondering. That being first, the Dallas Fuel, Soul Inferno, 100 Sparks, Seoul Dynasty, Dreamers, Shanghai Dragons, Panthera, O2 Blast, and then we have a couple more down here. Pokerface, Guangzhou Charge, Synpreza Gaming, and Rhodes. Group A we'll first start off with. Pokerface versus Panthera in the upper bracket quarterfinals. Pokerface won against Panthera. Savasa was the only map that Panthera won. It was a 3-1 victory for Pokerface, and it was hidden gained MVP. And Dreamers, they continue their run as they beat Tower Rhodes, which I'm pretty sure announced like a new roster during this match, I'm pretty sure. But it didn't really matter considering that they got beaten by Dreamers. A 3-1 victory for Dreamers. The only map that Rhodes won was in Savasa once again, and Leji gained MVP for that. Our bracket semifinals, the Dallas Fuel beat out Pokerface pretty convincingly. A 3-0 victory for the Fuel against Pokerface. Hanbin gained MVP, and another 3-0 victory as well for an Overwatch League team as the Hangzhou Spark beat out Dreamers, and it was Leave gained MVP for that. Lower bracket quarterfinals now. Panthera has been knocked out by Dreamers. A 3-1 victory for Dreamers against Panthera. The only map that Panthera won was in Lijiang Tower, and Missing gained MVP for that. Rhodes versus Pokerface. A 3-0 victory for Pokerface against Rhodes to knock out Rhodes out of the tournament, and Aiden gained MVP for that. Lower bracket semifinals, a very, very close game which went back and forth. A 3-2 victory for Pokerface as they continue their very surprising run in this bracket in Group A. Numbani and Colossea was the only two maps that Dreamers won, and Pepe gained MVP for that. Upper bracket final now. The Hangzhou Spark, they beat out the Dallas Fuel 3-0, and Gushui gained MVP for that. And the Dallas Fuel joins the Hangzhou Spark in the grand final for a possible chance of making it to the play-ins as they beat out Pokerface 3-1. The only map that Pokerface won against was in Newjunk City, and Edison gained MVP for that. And then in the grand final was a 4-1 victory for the Hangzhou Spark against the Dallas Fuel. Esperanza was the only map that the Fuel won, and Gushui gained MVP. So this basically locked the Spark into the playoffs. I'm pretty sure with their win against the Fuel, they were locked in. I should say when they won it against them in the upper bracket final, they were basically locked into the playoffs. So it really did not matter if they lost. They would have still been locked in, considering that they finished first as well in the Spring Stage knockouts, I'm pretty sure. Group B was very, very interesting to watch. First up, the Guangzhou Charge. Where are they? Where are the Guangzhou Charge? I have no idea, because they got obliterated by O2 Blast. The only map that the Charge won was actually in New Junk City, and it was Who Are You gained MVP for that. And once again, where are the Shanghai Dragons? Where are they? Because I cannot see them, because they also got beaten by a contender team, Synpreza Gaming. I wasn't really surprised about the Charge, but really, Shanghai Dragons? Really, guys? The Dragons only won in Midtown, and it was Megaru gained MVP for that. So Inferno, that at least they made it a bit more normal as they beat out Synpreza Gaming, 3-1 victory for Soul Inferno. The only map that Synpreza Gaming won was in Savasa, and it was Zest gained MVP for that. Pretty sure as well, speaking on Soul Inferno, they did add, what's his name, Hyungjae? I can't remember what his name is, but he was added as a replacement for Fixer because he injured himself. Where have I heard that one before? O2 Blast versus Seoul Dynasty, and it was O2 Blast winning against Seoul Dynasty, a very convincing 3-0 victory for O2 Blast, and it was Prophet, the PHET that used to play for the Dynasty, got MVP. So pretty ironic there that Prophet got MVP against his own team that he used to play for. And it was Seoul Dynasty beat out the Guangzhou Charge to knock them out of the tournament. A 3-1 victory for them. New Junk City was the only map that the Charge won, and Eshan get an MVP for that. Sinpreza Gaming won a very, very close 5 map series against the Shanghai Dragons. Arctic Peninsula and Colosseo were the only 2 maps that the Dragon won. I don't know what the hell happened to the Dragons, but they have fell off massively. And then although again MVP for that game. And the Seoul Dynasty, they continue their lower bracket run as they beat out Sinpreza Gaming, a 3-2 victory for them against Sinpreza Gaming. Only Lijiang Tower and New Queen Street were won by Sinpreza Gaming, and Profit, the FIT Profit, got MVP. Our bracket final now, as O2 Blast stunned everyone with a win against Seoul Inferno. A 3-1 victory for them against the Inferno, and they only won against O2 Blast in Eichenwald. And who are you once again getting MVP for that? And then in the low bracket final, it was Seoul versus Seoul, and it was the Seoul Dynasty. I was not expecting the Dynasty to win against Inferno, considering that the Inferno were basically a better Seoul team than the Dynasty, which is pretty ironic considering that they were formerly named the Philadelphia Fusion. But this was massive, considering as well that this was, I'm pretty sure, New Junk City was also Krillin's 100th map win. And speak of that, he got MVP. Inferno, they only won against the Dynasty in Lijiang Tower and Colosseo, but that's really all. The Dynasty moving on to the grand final against O2 Blast, and the Seoul Dynasty got their revenge against O2 Blast, and they won against O2 Blast. A 4-1 victory for the Dynasty. The only map that O2 Blast won was in Esperanza, and it was Belos Real gained MVP for that. So the Seoul Dynasty also, with this win, the Seoul Dynasty basically helped Seoul Inferno to be in the play-ins. In the playoffs. Considering that if O2 Blast won against the Seoul Dynasty, then O2 Blast will be in the playoffs, and the Shanghai Dragons will not have a chance of making it to the playoffs. So basically, the Dynasty win was actually a blessing in disguise for the Inferno, and, well, sorry, not the Inferno, but it was a blessing in disguise for, so for the Inferno for making it to playoffs, and to the Shanghai Dragons for making it to the play-ins. So this is actually great for all the Overwatch League teams as a whole. So let's now have a look now at the bracket for the play-ins. So this is the bracket right now for the East. So it will be first the Shanghai Dragons versus the Dallas Fuel on September 5th. And then the Guangzhou Charge versus the Seoul Dynasty also on September 5th as well. So it will start on September 5th. Here's also a little quick sneak peek on how the West is going with their play-ins. In the upper bracket finals, currently the Boston Uprising versus the Toronto Defiant. And then in lower bracket quarterfinals will be the San Francisco Shock versus the Vancouver Titans, and the Washington Justice versus the London Spitfire. The NYXL is knocked out, and they would not have another chance of making it to the playoffs. Speaking of them, here are now the 2 added teams who'll be in Toronto, along with the Reign, Mayhem, and the Outlaws, that being the Hangzhou Spark and the Seoul Inferno. If we also have a quick look as well at the standings after this. So with that win that the Seoul Dynasty had, was actually a blessing in disguise, considering that if O2 Blast won, like I said, O2 Blast will be in the playoffs. So Spark and Inferno, both of them are first and second. Then we have the Fuel in third, O2 Blast in fourth, Seoul Dynasty in fifth, Dreamers and Pokerface in sixth and seventh respectively. Guangzhou Charge in eighth, Sinpreza Gaming and Panthera in ninth and 10th. The Shanghai Dragons down in 11th, and Rhodes down in 12th. So that is what the standings looks like. So that is where I'm going to be ending it. So just want to remember, like, comment, subscribe. It would really help me. And that's really about it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time in the next one. Goodbye.